Gleneagles Hospital. Empower your health journey with the health insights and information from the specialists. For more information, visit gleneagles.com.sg.
Wake up in the morning.
It's the way Singapore wakes up.
Wake up,
Glen, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman.
wake up in the morning feeling like
Kiss 92's Big Show.
Welcome to Good Morning Doctor, and this morning our guest is Dr. Kelvin Chua, cardiologist and electrophysiologist from Gleneagles Hospital. Good morning, Dr. Chua.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning,
Thanks for
Doctor.
being here.
Yeah, thanks for waking up this early.
Very early. Before we get into talking about the topic we have today, cardiologists, I think a lot of people understand. Electrophysiologist.
That's quite a mouthful, right? Yeah.
What is it?
So actually, just think about us as electricians because the heart is functioning on its own electrical rhythm.
Right.
So things can go wrong. So if there are abnormal rhythms, we are the person to look for.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Understand it now. All right.
And what about AFib? What does that mean?
AFib stands for atrial fibrillation. Fibrillation literally means quivering or shivering of the heart. Actually, when we talk about electrical rhythms, when you are in this rhythm, it is a very irregular, chaotic rhythm where there are random electrical impulses firing in the top chambers of the heart. This is a highly abnormal and irregular heart rhythm.
Wow, okay. Oh.
I think all of us have experienced something like that. Like, after a bad dream in the afternoon or something like that, you kind of wake up, and then after it goes away. So
Is that irregular though, or just...
what
Yeah.
kind of irregularity
So honestly,
are we talking about?
all these irregularities in the heart rhythm have to be confirmed on a heart rhythm monitor, and that can be from ECG that you sometimes do, or ECG is electrocardiogram, which you do with your doctor on a health checkup, or other forms of heart rhythm monitors like watches or other monitors that you get from your cardiologist. But a lot of times, if you wake up from a dream, sometimes it might just be due to anxiety, a bad dream that causes adrenaline to surge, your heart rate goes up, and that may not be entirely abnormal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you classify as irregular? Is it something that changes out of the ordinary, or is it a heartbeat that goes fast, fast, slow, slow, you know what I mean? Or it goes really, really
just
like...
fast.
Yeah, like what classifies any
Exactly,
irregular?
you're quite right. Actually, from your first word to go, that whatever that is not regular and normal, it's considered an irregular rhythm.
Something that's unusually not
Yes,
supposed to be
exactly.
there.
Not
Okay, got it. Okay, now we know.
And Glen says, Glen was saying maybe it's after a dream that you have in the afternoon or whatever. What are the causes of this? Do we know what causes this?
So, if we are talking about the irregular heart rhythm today, which is atrial fibrillation, AFib, it is usually a degenerative cause, which means it comes with age. Some people get older, the electrical system in the heart gets older, and then random electrical impulses starts firing. But actually, recent years we've been noticing a lot of young people are starting to get this as well. And it's a lot of times related to our lifestyle issues. Yeah, basically a rising body mass index, rising weight, unable to exercise regularly. So it comes with other diseases as well, like sleep apnea, diabetes, hypertension. All these adds up, and sometimes that causes a strain on the electrical system in the heart, and that causes the random electrical impulses.
So you're saying that younger people are now showing up more in younger people because
Yes.
of lifestyle changes.
Yes.
You mentioned BMI, heavier in weight and stuff like that. So
Yes.
that relates back to food and a lack of physical activity?
Yes, a lot of times. And then alcohol intake and smoking as well. There's been a lot of correlation with these lifestyle issues that I think we are seeing a lot more in younger folks.
So
Oh,
the
wow.
younger folks are being sloppy.
I thought the younger set were being more health
know,
conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Not
numbers
all.
are not proving it then.
No, not
Not
really.
all.
Wow.
Just like
okay.
us adults, not all also.
Okay, that's true.
Anyway, here's Lauren Spencer Smith with Best Friend Breakup on Kiss 92.
Okay, we've got a question on our Facebook page that I think is quite interesting. As a person who engages in endurance sports, such as triathlons, or long-distance cycling or running events, not at a pro level, do we have a risk of developing an enlarged heart? And what are the risks of an enlarged heart?
Yeah,
Oh,
wow. So an enlarged heart is actually not related to an irregular heart rhythm. That's number one. When we have endurance athletes, actually, it's like a muscle. The heart muscles get thicker because it's just how we're training the muscle. The heart is also a muscle. And enlarged by nature is actually the muscle growing. And whether it becomes problematic to a stage depends on how the person feels. And usually that is not a problem. But sometimes because the heart muscle grows so thick that maybe blood supply or the electrical system inside is unable to cope with that muscle growth, and then irregularities or abnormalities can surface.
So that's quite interesting because you're saying it depends on how the person feels. So we've talked about monitors that can track irregular heart rhythms and AFib and stuff like this. But as a person, what would I be looking for that would alert me to the fact that I have a problem?
Yes. So, of course, if you feel unwell for any reason at all, or for example, if you're sitting down and you're just resting, but you feel your heart racing, maybe you can check your heartbeat. Nowadays, the government has given us oximeters.
Yeah.
So we have people who have come in to see us with the heart rates. They have documented, they take a photo of the oximeter to see that 180, 190. When you are at rest, your heartbeat shouldn't be running at that range. On the contrary, it's true. If you're exercising, your heart rate shouldn't be like 60 or 70. So if you notice your heart rate inappropriate to the activity that you are doing, then that's something to watch out for.
Too slow is bad, too fast is bad as well.
What's a
that's
good
right.
What's a good resting heart rate? Mine is currently at 77.
Yeah, so
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's absolutely
Okay,
fine. Yeah,
all right,
so
okay.
within 60 to 90s.
Is
you
that
should
what?
be right.
70.
Yours is 70, yours is 70. Mine's 58.
Because you're on medication.
I'm on
so
medication.
he's on very heavy medication
I'm on
because he's had a heart
medication,
attack
so that's
before.
what brings it down.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
that's what
okay.
brings
For
it
heart
down.
patients, we
Yeah.
deliberately
That's it. You
use
don't take your
medication.
pill. I think now it'll be like 170.
So wait, no, but speaking of which, when should we start to panic? Like if we're looking at our watches, and everyone wears a smartwatch these days. If
Yes.
we're looking at our watches, and we seem to be resting, like what we're doing now, what's a number that we should be worried about if we look at the
So
watch?
anything out of the norm, maybe above 100 or 120,
Right, okay.
is something that's worrisome, which means you're supposed to be at rest. Your heart should be also at rest, and it shouldn't be racing.
And how low should it be before we start to get
That's right.
worried?
So now
as
we
well?
get back to him. So he's
Yeah.
on medication, right? So one day if his heart rate is at 40, huh?
What-
Yeah.
No, that's too low.
Now it's already
Yes.
50
then,
plus.
then he'll become a
58.
dolphin.
Yeah, so,
58.
so less than 40 is usually something that we are concerned about. And
Right,
if you're
yeah.
on medications, we'll ask you to stop those medications and monitor that.
Oh, right.
Mine
okay.
never drops below 55. 55 is the lowest I've ever been.
So,
Really? Yeah.
speaking of watches, I mean, how accurate are they in terms of the heartbeat, the heart rate monitor, and some of the other watches have ECGs on them as well?
Yes.
How much can we depend on them?
So honestly, we've diagnosed quite a few people with watches who have ECG capabilities.
Yeah.
So bear in mind, there are watches that only tracks the heart rate, but there are maybe a couple of brands out there that measures the ECG as well. So the ECG has proven to be fairly accurate for some of the brands out there, and we have been confidently diagnosing some people with the conditions that cause them palpitations.
Okay,
Wow.
so just for because let's just say I'm an idiot. What is the difference between the ECG and the heart rate monitor?
Yeah, so the heart rate monitor actually tracks a pulse. So it's like waves that comes. So the watch is able to track that wave that comes, and then it records it as a heart rate because our heart rate comes in waves.
Okay.
Right. Whereas the ECG looks at the electrical system of the heart. So you actually need to put a finger to your watch to kind of close the electrical loop. Such that the watch can track your electrical circuit of the heart.
Oh, it doesn't
Yeah.
just read off
No,
you wearing it off your wrist,
you
right? I didn't know
hold it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
I
yeah.
see.
It's
okay.
amazing, I know, with
Wow.
technology.
Yes.
Because I remember getting my
Incredible.
ECG done in a hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
know?
don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have many patients actually, they have their symptoms maybe once every month. So it is quite difficult to catch that. Sometimes you go to the doctor and you get an ECG done, your symptoms is gone. So we want to catch that period where that person is unwell.
Yeah.
So that's where the watches come useful because the person can actually track their own ECG and then actually they can PDF it and send it to the doctor.
And how often should they be doing this? Since you have to put a finger to your watch and all that, how
Yeah,
often
so
should it be read?
anytime that they feel uncomfortable,
Oh,
it's
right.
a good time
Okay.
to do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's no real recommendation how regularly.
Not daily or anything like that. Okay.
See,
okay.
which is why it'll be good for us. I mean, I can't do it. Many of my friends do.
What?
They sleep with their watches
I
and
can't
everything.
sleep with my
I
watch,
can't
yeah.
do it. But
I can't do it.
like,
Yeah.
you do it.
I do it because
With this big thing.
Yeah, because I
Wow.
want my sleep patterns
But why do you want your sleep patterns?
so that I can learn to sleep better.
But don't you sleep well? No. You don't?
Sometimes I don't.
Right,
But
okay.
I've learned to sleep better. I've learned to gradually get longer sleeping hours.
But then you don't need that anymore after you've got a pattern
I still
already,
track
right?
it. I still
right.
track it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I cannot sleep with.
Yeah, you'll
like,
be surprised.
this.
A lot of watches now can track your sleep pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can give you some advice or
Uh,
whether you
how
can,
to sleep better.
yeah, or you could have some medical condition like a sleep apnea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it'll indicate that as well.
They will give you an idea and then
need
you
to-
should formally get it confirmed with a doctor.
Oh, yeah. It does a lot. I mean,
They do a lot. They do a lot.
Yeah.
But now for those that don't want to sleep with watches, they also have like little contraptions that you can put next to your bed as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they work, but they do.
I
the
don't
same
think
thing
those are as accurate as
as
if you have it
putting on your skin.
yeah,
Yeah.
on your wrist. Awesome.
Traffic.
Okay, we're going for traffic.
Yeah.
Stand
And
by.
then we go back on air.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways. The CTE towards the AYE, an accident after the PIE Changi exit. Avoid lane 1. Also on the CTE towards the AYE, an accident after Mulmain Road. Look out for that. Remember, we've got all the road closures because of the Singapore Grand Prix. So a bit of patience if you're heading into that marina area, yeah? Just stay within the speed limit, please. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Dr. Kelvin Chua, cardiologist and electrophysiologist from Gleneagles Hospital. So, Dr. Chua, what are the potential complications of AFib, atrial fibrillation?
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. So, a lot of people feel that an irregular heart rhythm might not be something serious, but actually there are a lot of serious complications. Atrial fibrillation, or AFib for short, because of the irregular nature, that actually the top chambers of the heart is not contracting regularly, and that actually results in poor blood circulation, and with poor blood circulation, blood clots can form. And these blood clots, once they form, they travel to the brain as the first stop, and that can cause a stroke. So one of the most catastrophic complications of AFib is actually stroke. And over time, the second most complication, because it's not contracting well, the heart chambers start to dilate or actually balloon out, and then they fail to have the pumping action after many years, and that is a condition we call heart failure. So the heart starts to fail, doesn't pump very well. People feel breathless very easily. Maybe water retention starts to happen in the legs and in the lungs as well. So those are the two most catastrophic complications: stroke and heart failure.
Wow.
Water retention in the legs. That's very interesting.
How does that happen?
Yeah. So think of the heart as a pump.
Yeah.
Right. It's supposed to pump very nicely and strongly forward. Right. Well, if it fails to do that, actually pressure starts to build up in the heart, and that's actually a back pressure where blood does not return back to the heart, and that results in pressure in the legs.
Wow. I mean, all from that one little organ in your chest. But so how do we look after our hearts?
So honestly, I think a lot of people know how to do it. There's really a lot of
Whether
lifestyle.
they do it.
Yeah. So it's got to do with diet, exercise.
It's the usual thing.
Yeah.
Don't smoke, don't drink, have a good
Exactly.
diet, keep exercising,
Yeah.
sleep well
Yeah, and if you do all that, go for regular health screening too.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Okay.
If someone does have AFib, what would the treatments be?
So honestly, that's an excellent question. I'm glad you brought it up, because there are three main pillars of treatment, we would say. One of them is actually lifestyle, which I already talked about, that you have to look very closely. The second pillar is probably medications to reduce the chance of blood clots forming, right? And medications to slow down the heart rate so that it doesn't run too rapidly. The third pillar is actually catheter ablation. This name might be new to a lot of people, but actually we've been doing it for the past 20 years. And how we do it is actually we insert electrical wires through little tiny needle pokes at the groin area where there are blood vessels. And these little wires lead us back all the way inside the heart, where we examine or study the electrical system of the heart, find out exactly where the abnormal electrical impulses are, and we emit some form of energy to eradicate or eliminate those electrical impulses.
You sound like an electrician right now. I mean, it sounds like a machine. The
yeah.
heart, you
Yes,
know, all
it
the
is.
electrical pulses and all
it
that. My
is.
gosh.
Yes, I am an electrician.
For the heart.
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Chua, I just want to bring this up because I think these days, based on the people, I speak to, no one likes taking drugs. And so they do everything in their power to try and reverse certain conditions, right? And as a result, it doesn't work out quite well because there's certain conditions that cannot be reversed. If you need to take medication, you need to take medication.
That's right.
What have you got to say to people like that? Because I just had a friend who just suffered a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And for years he just said no, I'll make my
meds.
lifestyle changes. No, I don't want to take medication. Medication has side effects, blah blah blah. But I think the ultimate side effect is the heart attack, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what can you say to people who feel like medication is a bad thing? They just want to keep it natural. They want to try and reverse the condition, like a heart condition.
Yeah, so honestly, sometimes we have to think about the conditions that we have. For example, AFib itself is probably part of a lifestyle condition as well as the heart condition. Sometimes you may have some disposition, that's why you develop the irregular heart rhythm. But a lot of people, and actually a lot of studies have also proven that lifestyle modification can actually reduce the burden of AFib and maybe even reverse some of the process, but it does not completely eliminate it. And there may be existing risk factors that may still be in place, and that's where medications come in. So a lot of people may not be completely taken off medications because there's always this risk of it recurring even after a procedure that's done. So I think that it's important people, especially the younger folks, don't think about a procedure as a one-off thing, and hopefully nothing comes back after the procedure, and then they go back to their old habits.
And that's the
Okay.
reason why you are emphasizing on regular screening, because
Yes,
that
that's
is one way for you to know if you're maintaining your lifestyle
Exactly.
in the proper way.
Yep.
Okay.
We are with Dr. Kelvin Chua, cardiologist from Gleneagles Hospital. We'll continue this conversation on The Big Show TV. It's 8:16.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions that are coming through on our Facebook page, which are quite interesting. Going back to the ECG, someone has asked, which is better, an active ECG or a seated ECG? So in other words, take your ECG while you're active, or do you take a ECG when you're sitting down,
Calm.
relaxed and calm?
Oh, so I think both have their purposes and usefulness. I think I'm wondering whether the active ECG is almost like a treadmill.
On
kind
a
of-
yes, on a
right?
treadmill. Yes,
So
that's
the-
exactly it.
So that the treadmill is a form of stress to the heart. So a lot of times when you come to your cardiologist, they may ask you to get on the treadmill. They want to see your ECG under stress, right? So that's actually a way to examine how the heart is performing under stress. So that's a good way to tell us whether there could be heart artery blockages, for example.
Whether the heart can
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But what happens to the person sees the treadmill and is intimidated by it already? and while the person is running or walking,
Even more
the heart is
so.
beating even faster. I'm sure that's a very common thing, right?
Yeah. So maybe if the heart rate surges to a certain number, we can already tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before he even jumps on.
Yeah, and sometimes it triggers an abnormal rhythm, right? So
Yeah.
and then it tells us other things as well.
Okay, so once you've found out how the heart works and all that, what are the treatments available for AFib?
Yeah. So there are several treatments. We talk about lifestyle modifications. We talk about the use of medications to reduce the chance of blood clots. There is an invasive procedure called catheter ablation, where we insert electrical wires inside the heart to find out exactly where the abnormal electrical impulses are, and that's where we use some form of energy to eradicate them. And we have a new technology. I wanted to bring it up. It's actually called a pulse field ablation. It's actually a PFA for short. But what it means is different forms of energy have been used to kill electrical cells inside the heart. But now the new system uses an electrical field that only targets heart cells. So any surrounding organs, for example, our swallowing pipe, our stomach, which is actually quite close to the heart, will be spared. They
Doesn't
will-
get affected.
Yeah, so that's a new technology that we have, and we are kind of offering it to most of our patients nowadays.
So, what is the most effective out of the treatments, or they all are different and depends on a case by case?
Yes, it really
the
depends on a
basis.
case-by-case basis,
Right,
but
okay.
generally we would quote within a range of 60-70% for procedural success, and the success goes up if you are very, very diligent with your lifestyle modifications.
That's always a change
Yes.
that has to be made.
It's time to modify our lifestyle.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to quit drinking.
That everything in moderation, Doc? I mean,
Yes.
do we have to quit everything?
No, everything can be done as long as it's in moderation.
What's the best alcohol?
Oh no.
Red wine?
A glass of red wine is
A
really,
day?
Yeah,
Or an hour?
not an hour, but
I'll be honest with you, okay? I can never just have one
No, same,
glass
yeah.
of red wine.
How do we solve
If
that?
I go to the restaurant, I will order a bottle,
Bottle.
which means...
And it makes about 5 glasses.
No, but I won't have the whole bottle
Oh,
to
why not?
myself.
Oh,
Of course,
okay.
I'm
Yes.
sharing it with my partner.
well, that's
So
the way to
about-
go, right? Get a couple of friends to share.
Yeah. So maybe about two, 3 max.
Bottles.
No! glasses!
I don't know. You said bottles, so I'm not sure.
I said
you didn't say how many friends you were going with as well.
But that's okay, right?
Yeah.
About maybe 1-2
Yes.
glasses is
Glasses.
okay.
Yeah, the worst is binging, right? So
Right.
if you don't drink regularly and then you go on a Saturday night out and you get dead drunk, so those are the worst because the alcohol content can be directly toxic to the heart cells and that can cause problems.
So the way out of that is to drink every day and then drink a lot on Saturday. So your heart's already used to it. No, I'm joking. Please don't
Yes.
take my advice. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. Correct.
What about things like red meat or fatty meat and stuff like that? I mean, there have been so many studies that it does affect the arteries.
Yes.
Is that something you got to cut out as well?
Yeah, so red meat is high in cholesterol, and the cholesterol are those that start to deposit inside heart arteries, and over time, of course, as the accumulation happens, and they can clog up the arteries and can cause things like a heart attack, which people talk about, and that is really also related to our lifestyle. Yes, really.
Does it affect your heart rate at all? I mean, foods besides coffee, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so other food substances can affect the heart rate. Some people are very sensitive to caffeine. A lot
Yeah.
of people in the audience might have drank coffee and felt your heart racing. Right, there are other food substances, maybe additives that maybe people are quite sensitive to. MSG is one of them. Yeah, right. Sometimes you go to a hawker store and then you start feeling your heart racing after the meal. That can be sometimes MSG.
And you wonder what it is. Some people have been wondering, I think.
Yeah,
What happened? So now you know it could be MSG.
Is that the same as sodium as well? Like, say, high levels of sodium?
Yeah, that can happen.
Processed
any
foods.
form of electrolyte disturbances in the
Okay.
heart. Some people also have other medical conditions like a thyroid hormone disorder that can also cause the heart to race.
Okay, okay.
Thyroid conditions can cause the heart to race.
Yeah, so the thyroid hormone is interesting. It's like a hormone that helps us metabolize.
Yeah.
And when it's very, very active, it kind of makes us heart racing. So we are like increasing our metabolism, and actually we feel anxious all the time, and people starts to perspire all the time. That's when the thyroid is overactive. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, the Formula One is coming up, right? I mean, there are going to be a lot of loud noises, people dancing, loud music, a lot of activity and stuff like that. Should people be worried, say, if they're dancing all night long and they're, because your heart rate does race, and you are drinking.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? All that can contribute to irregular heart rates as well, right?
Yeah, so I think if you think about the dancing as an exercise, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Right? But then sometimes with the combination of excessive alcohol, that may lead to some other problems. So I would say that anything in moderation is still probably the best way out.
Okay.
And nothing too excessive.
Okay.
Margaret Tay on our Facebook page asks, is omega-3 supplements helpful for the heart, and how does it help?
Yeah, so omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to try and kind of reduce our bad cholesterol and maybe improve the good cholesterol. So that has been fairly useful for some people, especially if they are very intolerant of standard cholesterol lowering medications.
Okay,
Got
let's
it.
go
Okay.
back on air. And then I've got a really way out question for you.
Okay. Last talk set.
92 traffic.
Alrighty, usual delays across the expressways. We know that. I don't think you're going to run into too many things. Remember that that whole Marina Bay area with the circuit is a bit of a mess because we've got so many roads closed. Look out for the BKE towards the PIE, an accident before Mandai Road exit. That is going to slow you down. Also on the BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle broken down after the KJE exit. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Doctor. Our doctor for this morning is Dr. Kelvin Chua, cardiologist and electrophysiologist from Gleneagles Hospital. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Chua.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And you had something you wanted to ask.
You had a way out there question.
Oh,
you
yeah.
said,
for Dr.
yes.
So
Chua.
we've been talking about atrial fibrillation and heart issues and stuff like that. Will there be a day where perhaps maybe we'll have like a jab or something like that? You jab the person and the heart becomes healthy again.
Oh, I don't know. That might be in the pipeline. Or a jab that can stop everyone from having indulgences in our...
Oh my God! No, please don't take the indulgences away.
I feel like a kway teow. No, I don't. One jab. No, I'm not hungry.
But I think Singaporeans in general, because I mean, food is so yummy here.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so hard for people to resist.
It's so
Yes,
accessible and it's so affordable.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
You
Whenever
know.
I go overseas, I tell people, what do I miss in Singapore? It's the food.
Everyone
Yeah.
misses
Yeah.
the food.
And so sometimes I feel like I don't know if the government is doing the right thing or not, because on one hand you're promoting food, right? That we are food paradise,
yeah,
in
yeah.
Singapore. Then on the other hand, you're urging people to exercise. So I think some people, they
and
feel
eat
like
healthy.
as long as I exercise, I can eat anything I want.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
That's definitely the wrong mentality,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's not true at all. Yeah, actually, everything like we mentioned earlier should be taken in moderation, and as well as food. I think you can enjoy your food once in a while, but maybe not the everyday, regular kind of unhealthy food.
I've heard people say so many times they've jogged, they've exercised, they've done a gym session. Oh, okay, now I can have my char kway teow, now I can have my Hokkien mee and stuff like that. You know, they
Yeah.
exercise to be able to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not the right mentality.
That's the wrong
Lucky
mentality.
I'm not the Prime Minister. If I'm the Prime Minister, I'll shut down all the hawker centres here in
Oh
Singapore.
wow! Okay.
Boy,
And then-
I'll force everybody to go to the market, buy fresh produce,
fruit.
and go back home and cook.
and make it yourself because you know what goes into it as well.
Correct.
if he's the Prime Minister of Singapore, I'm migrating.
I think so.
Moving on.
Many people migrate. Sadly, to Malaysia.
Oh dear. Hey, so doctor, do you have any key messages that you'd like our audience to take away for
Yeah,
today?
so honestly, I think the focus have been on lifestyle a lot. We talk about
Yes.
lifestyle modification today. I urge everyone to lead a healthy lifestyle. You already know what it is, you just have to follow it. And secondly, I think you should definitely consider a way to monitor your heart rhythm
Okay.
if you're not very well, and watch is a good way that people have been using. And my third message is probably to see a doctor if you feel unwell, and don't procrastinate for too long.
Yeah.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great
Right.
key messages there.
Dr. Kelvin Chua, and where is your practice?
I'm at Gleneagles Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy to see everybody.
Please go look him up, okay? Dr. Kelvin Chua. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kelvin.
Thank you.
Kelvin.
Thank you so much for
Can I
having
call you
me.
Kelvin? If I
Yes,
see you
yes, yes.
outside?
Please, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Somehow I feel like I'm older than you. Very much older.
It's possible.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to The Big Show's Good Morning Doctor, brought to you by Gleneagles Hospital. We're on your side because your health is
Salvation is
Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. Switchfoot with Dare You to Move. All right, it's about 8:31. Our second guest for this morning. I'll leave him to you, Angel, your good friend.
Well, speaking about moving, this is something we can do this weekend at C'est La Vie because they've got a high impact. My goodness, these words were included. High impact 40-hour non-stop party happening at the top of MBS. And we have in the studio for the very first time, creative director of C'est La Vie, Godwin Pereira. Welcome.
Woo! Thank you, guys. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
What a voice. You should be a radio DJ. Wait, hold on.
I
But then
tried my field,
you wouldn't be making as much money.
That's just true.
Here's the thing. I've worked that club scene before,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Years ago.
Yes.
It's difficult enough saying, okay, I'm going to program 6 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours. 40 hours.
Why?
How?
Not all the time, lah. Special occasions, right?
Yeah, correct. Special occasions. I mean, we do it quite often, actually. With
You
a couple
do.
of parties.
Yeah.
But for us, it's actually a lot of planning. We don't look at it and just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to do 40 hours.
Yeah.
It's not something that takes that. So it's really a lot of background work. It's a lot of strategy work. It's really about finding the right acts that actually fit and actually doing the programming from, say, 12 noon all the way to 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not so easy.
Yeah.
You have to find the right DJs, of course, to play the right style of music at the right point in time. And, of course, you have to think about scaling up and how the energy scales up throughout the entire programming, So, I mean, typically clubs start from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But for us to do it from 12 noon because of where we are situated in the venue,
Yeah.
we are blessed, We have such a great venue that can transcend 24 hours
All
a day.
hours,
Yeah, all
right?
hours,
Yeah.
So we really get people who are really from all walks of life, who want to come up, enjoy the view. And I think at the same time, if you give them a good content of music and stuff that makes them feel comfortable, that makes them feel warm,
Yeah.
instead of them spending 1-2 hours and just taking a couple of pictures and go away, they're actually having a good time and they spend 4 or 5 hours in the venue and they don't really think about the time already. You see?
Right.
So walk us through it. It's happening 12 o'clock on
Saturday. Yeah, and
and
Sunday.
goes all the way till 8 a.m. on Monday.
No.
Where does it go to?
Take it
It's
easy.
slightly under 2
Some of us
days.
need to
What?
sleep.
It's slightly under 2 days. So so how to
Okay,
walk us
so-
through the
Godwin,
program?
you know what a party animal
Yeah,
this
one
lady
I know.
is, right?
Was.
That's why.
Yes.
Because she already said Monday she's not coming in because she'll be with you all.
I'm already planning to take a day off. Tell us.
Okay, so it starts on Saturday, 12 noon. We go up till 8 o'clock in the morning.
On
Sunday morning,
okay.
yeah, right? Then we take a couple of hours of break.
Oh, you take a break.
Yeah, we have to take a break, clean up the venue,
Yeah, okay.
go back, look decent again, and then come back again at 12 o'clock, right?
Oh, so it's kickstart again at 12 o'clock on
Yes,
Saturday
yes.
till what
Sunday.
time? Sunday.
Sunday,
Sorry,
12
Sunday.
o'clock.
Sunday, 12 o'clock
12 o'clock.
till Monday, 8 a.m.
Oh, right. So it's 2 days, 12 to 8,
Yes,
12 to 8.
yes.
Oh, right.
Got it.
So essentially,
okay.
it's about 20 hours of programming a day
Okay.
Yeah.
that we're looking at.
Okay.
We have international DJs. We have a lot of the local boys also as well from the club circuit as well. They are playing. So it's really a long spread of acts. You can come at different segments. Like, what Glen was saying, daytime drinkers, right? just now.
Yeah.
Some guys prefer drinking in the day.
Yeah.
Some prefer drinking at night. So
Yeah.
it's really something that's tailor-made for everyone. You don't
Yeah.
really have to, I have to go at night or I have to go in the day. It's really, you can
Yeah.
stroll in and spend as many hours as you want in the venue.
Yeah. When you guys invited us, I mean, a few of us are
Yeah.
invited. They made me choose a time, lah, bro. I don't like choosing like
don't
this
like to be
time.
restricted, right? You
Correct.
just want to be able to walk in anytime
But
you
I
want.
would love to go when you are there.
Yeah,
Message
for
me,
sure.
lah, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just message
I'll
me.
message you.
Yeah.
Like, I think just before the race.
Yeah,
It'll be
I
quite
think that's
nice
a- that's a
also.
good
'Cause I'm
time,
gonna
yeah.
be there, for the
Warm up
race
a bit.
itself. Warm
Yeah.
up a bit and then go down.
Catch the view,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, I will message you.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I'll give you
Alright.
his number.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's continue this conversation with Godwin Pereira of C'est La Vie on The Big Show TV.
All the great songs in one place.
Okay, so let's say we go on a Saturday at 12 o'clock. Well, this Saturday at 12 o'clock. What can we expect? And in terms of things like food, is there a brunch? Is there a special dinner menu? Is that what's going on with the whole C'est La
Okay,
Vie?
so our kitchen is open in the club side. Most of our high intensity programming is basically in the club side.
Okay.
Nothing much really going on in the restaurant because we're booked out for events.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So it's a peak period during that week. So most of our concentration is on the club side. It starts from 12 o'clock. Of course, the whole complex is going to be busy with a lot of tourists. It's really a lot of people strolling through. So we start at 12. And it takes a nice, gentle pace. You can come up, have some bar snacks.
Very chill.
Yeah, a nice flow to it. And then by 6 o'clock, it starts to pace up for sunset.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Right? And then from 6 to 10 p.m., we keep it a little bit bumpy, I would
Yeah.
say. A little bit more
Not too
lively.
heavy.
Not too heavy,
Yeah.
not too intense. And then from 10 p.m. onwards, we really go into club mode.
Okay.
Right.
It's, that's the kind of flow that goes in. And of course, typically it runs till 4 o'clock
4
in the
o'clock,
morning,
yeah.
but we're going to stretch it till 8 o'clock in the morning. So
So
after
it'll be
hours.
full on high
Yes.
intensity till
Yes.
8 a.m.
Yes.
Oh my
The
god.
smart ones
Wow.
would have a suite or something like that
Exactly.
at the hotel.
You go take a nap and then come back at like 5 a.m., grab something to eat.
I
and
think what's
party.
going to happen is, looking at it historically before in
Yeah.
the past as well, people will definitely go to the race, like yourself, Glenn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will go for the race, and whoever's got the tickets, it's just really nearby. You just
Yeah.
go down and
Yeah.
go view the race. You come back again into the complex, and then you go up again and party, right? So it's just really full on programming for yourself. So you're not restricted. You can go in and out the venue, and
Last year, did you guys do the same thing?
yeah, we did.
Oh,
the
you
same thing,
did. You
yeah.
did. My Saturday night party ends on Sunday morning at about 4, so then I can come and
Yeah.
I still
Still
have
got-
4 hours there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah, and I'll
Yeah,
see
I'll
Godwin.
be there also
Yeah,
around
we
that
can have
time.
breakfast or something in C'est La Vie.
But
Yeah.
then the next day,
Tequila and breakfast. No.
Yeah,
the next
tequila.
day, I thought of going down, a bit earlier as well.
No, then you sleep after 8 o'clock. You leave, then you
Yeah,
sleep
you-
all the way till 4 p.m. and then you go back and do it all over again.
Just stay awake.
No,
guys.
And
you
then
can-
Monday we do the show from the track
Oh my goodness.
or C'est La Vie.
I don't think we're going to feel very good on
No.
Monday morning, that's for sure.
But, Godwin, are these long 40-hour events like this gaining popularity here?
Yes, I think it's because the footfall, the traffic, right? The demographics very different right now. And honestly, the mindset of doing this 40-hour programming was really to follow, like festivals in Europe,
Yeah.
Festivals in Europe typically start from, say, 12 noon to 12 a.m., right? But we're pushing the envelope a little bit more. And looking at the amount of footfall that's in the city during this week, it just makes sense because there's something for everyone. And, our guests from Europe are on a different time zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when they come in 1 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean sleepy time for them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
No,
Yeah,
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 That's
yeah.
so raring to go.
It's a different mindset. So
Yeah.
it's really thinking about stretching it throughout 2 phases of time so that it kind of accommodates for everyone, you see.
Yeah. Who do you have featuring this weekend?
Okay, we got Dubfire, Grammy Award winner. He's done remixes for Madonna, Dido. So he's been in the game for a long time. I've booked him.
So
a
when's
couple
he
of
on?
times. So he's on Saturday. He starts roughly at about midnight.
Okay.
He'll be playing a long set, kind of an endurance set for us.
Wow. Okay.
So typically guest DJs do maybe 2 or 3 hours, but this guy's going to push the envelope and go for about 6 hours.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the ideas that we had for this thing, sorry. Yeah, so we wanted the DJs that we were booking to do long sets. So it tells a whole story rather than just come in, bang, bang, bang,
And
thank
that's
you,
it.
bye,
Yeah.
see you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So we wanted to pick guys that have a lot of substance with their music as well and have done like really good remixes for big artists and stuff. So I mean, when they come on, they can play like really classics and then go into the modern stuff and go back and forth, So it takes the crowd on a really nice journey, a nice flow,
Right.
Doesn't really burn them out fast,
Any tips for anyone who wants to head down to C'est La Vie this weekend?
Wear good dancing shoes.
Do they have to pre-book or do they buy tickets at the door?
You can buy tickets online. You can
Okay.
also buy it at the door if
Okay.
there's a few left.
All right, okay.
But it's better to buy online.
I always say the
okay.
best dancing shoes, bare feet, bro.
Oh, no, please don't be
Oh,
barefoot.
okay,
No.
okay.
Not unless they're using plastic cups this
We
weekend.
don't
No.
allow bare feet in the club.
All right,
Take
yeah,
it easy.
yeah.
Take it easy.
Like that at 6 a.m.
And no open-toed shoes as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's better.
I'd say
Yeah,
sneakers are the
yeah.
best.
Yes.
You know? No open toes.
Yes.
Correct. And you and your heels?
Yeah, I got to bring a pair of sneakers along
Yes,
as well.
please. When I said
Sneakers.
bare feet, I was thinking of you. I was like, "Oh, aching, take my heels off." Macklemore and Ryan Lewis right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. That was Can't Hold Us. Our guest for this morning is Godwin Pereira, creative director at C'est La Vie.
Yeah, we're talking about your massive high-impact 40-hour non-stop party that kicks off at noon on Saturday, goes on to 8 a.m. on Sunday, then starts again at noon on Sunday and goes on to 8 a.m. on Monday.
Let's talk about the headliners again because
Yeah,
we
let's-
spoke about it
that's
on the
good.
Big
Let's
Show
talk
TV.
about who's going to be appearing in terms of DJs this
So I was
weekend.
mentioning, headliner is Dubfire on Saturday. On Sunday we have Apsara. She's a Japanese DJ,
Oh, wow,
up
okay.
and coming. She's one classic act and one really new and upcoming act. So you
Plus,
have
I
a-
like the way she looks as well.
yeah, she's quite edgy. Yeah. Music's also quite edgy, quite interesting as well, quite
Okay.
uplifting. And besides the main acts, we really put a lot of the local heroes that kind of buff up everything to make the whole programming flow kind of work a lot better.
You can name them.
Yeah, name some of our
Yeah,
local.
I'm sure
you've-
Brandon is gonna be there.
Brandon is there.
Yeah.
Leonard is there.
Right.
We got Anand there. We got Kenneth Francis. We got Leonard. Yeah, I just mentioned.
We went to
Leonard.
school together, no, Kenneth and me.
Really?
Yeah, I got to catch up with him.
Okay, there you go this weekend.
See,
Another
another
reason
drinking
to go.
buddy there.
Exactly. I got drinking buddies everywhere. Frankly, sometimes I stop myself
From going out.
If not, I'll kill myself. No. I have no limits when it comes to this sort of things. No control.
Okay, apart from this weekend, anything else that you want to talk about coming up in C'est La Vie for the rest of the year?
Well,
What
I
do you guys
think,
have lined up?
yeah, we got a couple of interesting acts coming in October. We got this guy from Argentina. His name is Ustil. He plays at really big festivals called Afterlife.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so he's coming in, I think, on the 7th of October. I think October is going to be an interesting month for us because it's also Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
so on the 27th, we have this duo called Illustrious Blacks. They are performers and singers, and they do the strutting and the posing and stuff.
Oh,
like
nice. That sounds cool.
Yeah. So it's very interactive.
Yeah.
They really get out on the floor and they play a lot of funk, soul, disco, and all those remixes, and it's really fun. And then on the 28th, we have Cirque Le Soir, which is an adult circus.
Adult, I like the sound of that. Adult,
Yeah.
anything sounds good.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot more live performers doing contortionists and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's really, in terms of entertainment programming, we're not just really focusing on just the standard DJs. We're just trying to do a wide scape of things to keep it
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay, fantastic.
You
Well,
make it look easy.
Yeah, I
See,
know,
that's
right?
why he is the creative director at C'est La Vie.
Correct.
I lost all my hair for doing it.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm sure the money is worth it.
You're doing a fantastic job, Godwin.
Thank
You
sir.
are. You
Thank
are.
So you guys. Yeah.
Thank you. We're looking forward to this weekend. We have, of course, been speaking to creative director of C'est La Vie, Godwin Pereira. They have their 40-hour non-stop party happening this weekend. You can book your tickets online.
And all this, of course, because of the Formula One Singapore Airlines Singapore Grand Prix. And you know what? We've been giving away tickets from last week. And right now we've got a pair of pit grandstand tickets worth $2,776. I can pretty much guarantee you it's all sold out already. So
Yeah, it is. It is the last final set of tickets that you get to win. Glenn's
wait,
opening
let's
the
see whether
envelope now.
it's real or not.
Yeah, you should check
It's
if
real.
It
It's
is real.
There you
It
go.
is real.
Pit grandstand. Let's see. Yeah, and of course you've got access to zones 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well. So
That's amazing.
You can move around. Okay.
So
yeah,
what
this
we're
is-
going to do is at about 9 o'clock, we're going to be playing a snippet of a song that's been sped up. I'm going to give you a clue. It is from one of the artists that are featuring this weekend at the Formula One. So there are artists from the 15th through to the 17th. You can find all their names. Won't run through it because these tickets are worth so much. We're not going to give too much away. So that's going to happen at 9 o'clock.
All right, here's Doja Cat. Say So on Kiss 92.
What's up? I'm Doja Cat. Doja Cat. Say So. Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place.